Nobody is going to pull you aside and tell you that you've been deemed irrelevant. The world doesn't hand out warning labels before it stops taking you seriously. The worst judgments in your life don't happen out loud. They happen in the absolute silence of other people's minds. While you've been playing nice, waiting for your hard work to be noticed, a hidden jury has already closed your file. You think you're being patient. They think you're just easy to ignore. And the most painful part is this. By the time you realize the game was rigged, you'll realize you were the one who handed them the pen. You taught them how to treat you. You trained them to overlook you. And they learned the lesson perfectly. This is the social position trap. A psychological cage disguised as good behavior. Your brain is biologically engineered to seek safety through compliance. An ancient survival reflex meant to keep you from getting kicked out of the tribe. Back then, exile meant death. So your nervous system evolved to avoid conflict, avoid tension, avoid anything that might make the group uncomfortable. But modern society doesn't exile you. It just ranks you in silence. Every room you walk into has an invisible hierarchy. Every conversation has an unspoken scoreboard. Every interaction is a subtle negotiation of power, respect, and presence. And every time you apologize for taking up space, every time you soften your voice to make an aggressive person comfortable, every time you laugh at a joke that wasn't funny just to avoid awkwardness, you feed an invisible algorithm. You aren't being polite. You are training your environment to treat your presence as optional. People don't say it out loud, but they notice. They notice when you shrink. They notice when you hesitate. They notice when you avoid eye contact, when you over-explain, when you rush your sentences, when you let others interrupt you without resistance. And slowly, quietly, without any announcement, they move you down the hierarchy. Not because they're cruel, but because humans instinctively assign value based on behavior. And you've been signaling that your value is negotiable. Look at Zero. He followed the exact script he was given. Speak quietly. Wait your turn. Don't cause trouble. Be agreeable. Be predictable. Be the good one. But the script is a counterfeit. It was written to keep him harmless, not respected. Zero carries a beautifully wrapped porcelain box labeled, "The Good Boy." Inside that box is every moment he swallowed his truth. Every time he said, "It's okay," when it wasn't. Every time he let someone else take credit. Every time he pretended he didn't care. Every time he chose peace over self-respect. And the weight of that box grows heavier with every year he carries it. Then, from the corner of his own shadow, the Saboteur emerges. The Saboteur looks exactly like Zero, same face, same posture, but dressed in a pristine, razor-sharp black suit. A mask with an exaggerated, unmoving grin covers his face. The Saboteur is not an enemy. He is a survival mechanism. A psychological bodyguard built from childhood fears, social conditioning, and every moment Zero was punished for being too loud, too honest, too direct. Every time Zero reaches a door that requires assertion, the Saboteur steps out. He whispers, "If you speak up with precision, they will find you dangerous. If you take a stand, they will reject you. If you show your real strength, they will call you arrogant. Stay small. Stay safe. Stay invisible." It's a beautifully dressed lie. The Saboteur isn't trying to protect Zero's future. He's trying to protect the illusion that Zero is helpless, because helplessness requires zero risk. If you believe you're powerless, you never have to test your power. If you believe you're fragile, you never have to face resistance. If you believe you're unworthy, you never have to confront the possibility that you were wrong about yourself. The Saboteur's mission is simple. Keep Zero comfortable, even if comfort is killing him. Then comes the invisible eviction. It doesn't happen in a dramatic moment. It happens quietly, in the way people stop asking for your opinion, in the way they talk over you without noticing, in the way they forget to include you in decisions, in the way they treat your presence like background noise. You become a ghost in your own life. Zero stands on a crowded train platform in Seoul. Thousands of passengers rush past him, clipping through his body as if he were air. He looks into the train window and sees no reflection at all. This is the psychological collapse. The moment your brain realizes that your compliance didn't buy you respect. It bought you obscurity. Your identity hits a wall. The nice person you've been performing cannot coexist with the reality of being dismissed. You aren't angry at the people who ignored you. You're sickened by the version of yourself that allowed it. This is the identity crisis no amount of positive thinking can fix. Because it's not about confidence. It's about self-betrayal. You betrayed yourself every time you stayed silent. Every time you avoided conflict. Every time you pretended you were fine. Every time you chose peace over truth. And now the bill has arrived. To break an engineered reflex, you don't start a war. You start with stillness. The smallest pattern interrupt is the unbroken gaze. The next time someone interrupts you, the next time someone tests your boundary, the next time someone tries to dominate the room, do not explain. Do not adjust your posture. Do not smile to break the tension. Do not rush to fill the silence. Just hold the moment. 3 seconds. That's all. 3 seconds of unbroken presence. 3 seconds of not shrinking. 3 seconds of letting their noise sit in the room without you cleaning it up. This tiny friction rewires your nervous system. It teaches your brain that the discomfort of holding your ground is safer than the comfort of shrinking. Because shrinking feels safe, but it destroys you slowly. Holding your ground feels dangerous, but it builds a new identity. This is not aggression. This is calibration. This is you teaching your nervous system a new truth. I am allowed to exist without apologizing. When you stop treating your own existence as a problem to solve, the room shifts. People who used to overlook you suddenly find themselves preparing their words before they speak to you. Not because you're intimidating, but because your clarity sets a new standard. You have traded the exhausting performance of people-pleasing for the quiet weight of precision. You have become a stranger to your own submission. Zero stands tall. The faceless silhouettes around him step back, creating a wide circle of space. Not because he demanded it, but because he no longer collapses into the background. The neon lights of the city reflect sharply in his eyes. His outline becomes crisp, defined, undeniable. This is what happens when you stop negotiating your worth. People recalibrate around you. They adjust. They adapt. They respond to the new signal you emit. Respect is not something you ask for. It's something you embody. And once you embody it, the world has no choice but to respond. Stop waiting for them to grant you a seat at the table. Start acting like the room was built around you.